Barbara Walters announced that she's retiring from The View. Well, actually, she announced it 5 years ago, but no one could hear her over those yammering bitches. See?
You all remember our first guest from Saturday Night Live, where, among other things, he hosted the Weekend Update. Remember that? But he was so committed to doing an imitation of Bob Dole, he even took Viagra himself. That is really... Now he's the host of his very own show right here on ABC. It's called The Norm Show. Take a look.
Hearing is 3 o'clock. And don't worry, because with the help of a little oxygen, you're going to be as sharp as a tack for that review board. Oh, wow. I just remembered where I left my Lincoln Logs in 5th grade.
In 1938, I killed a hobo.
Do a little Bob Dole for us.
Bob Dole?
Yeah. Would you?
You want me to do it?
Yeah, do it.
It's a kind of an old impression, you know.
It's in the news again.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, I try to work on new impressions, you know what I mean? Like fresh, torn from the headlines of the newspapers, of the journals, of the, you know.
Well, he's in today's headline. You just do a little.
But I got Liddy Dole. I'm working on a new one, Liddy Dole.
Liddy Dole.
Yeah, I do Liddy Dole.
Do Liddy Dole.
Okay. I'm Liddy Dole, running for president. Liddy Dole wants to be president. Doesn't want to work at the blood bank anymore. Wants to be president of the United States. Liddy Dole.
You got that Bob Dole?
That is Bob Dole.
No. Bob Dole says, I'm Bob Dole. This is Liddy Dole. I'm Liddy Dole.
You're sweet, man.
Yeah.
Very good.
And you know how sometimes, like, when people are married for a long time, they start to sound like each other? I think that's what happened with Bob and Liddy Dole.
You are really wild. I mean, you're wild in that show, and you're wild in person.
What?
Yeah. Don't you think?
No, I think you're wild.
You take the next question.
You hear us talking about the Friars Club roast and everything, and you know, Joy is the queen of the Friars Club.
I went to that Friars Club once. I never seen a roast or anything like that, Joy, but I went one time. I loved playing poker. I had a bit of a gambling problem for a while, and I couldn't get enough poker games, right? So this dude, he told me, you gotta go to the Friars Club, man. There's a big poker game there, right? I have to talk to 4 people here. So I go to the Friars Club. Barbara, are you listening?
Yeah.
So I'm at the Friars Club, and they tell me there's this big poker game, right? So I go there, and there's all these old dudes there, right? And they're all comics from like 50 years ago, and I don't know who the hell they are, you know? And it's not like famous comics like Milton Berle or anybody like that. It's these B-level comics from 50 years ago, you know? Like Freddie Roman and dudes like that, right? So they're all playing poker, you know? They're all playing poker. And I'm playing poker. I just want to play poker, but they're all like making jokes, you know. And every joke they're making involves me being a gay dude. You know, you know what I mean? Like they'll go, here you go, kid. Here's be like a queen. I get a queen. They go, here's a lady for the lady. And they'd all laugh, you know. And I didn't notice at first. I'm just playing cards, and all of a sudden I realized every joke is me being a homosexual man, right? So I'm not a homosexual man, as you well know. So,
He's definitely not. You're not.
yeah, I'm not. And let me tell you something else. I would have sex with you while you were awake.
Novelty for me. Go ahead.
No, there's no story. It's just, and then I'm playing, and then all of a sudden, this old dude next to me goes, kid, just you gotta show him what you're made of. You insult them too. You know, so I'm like, oh, so there's an old dude, there's like 70 years old. So So I go, hey, there, old dude, you probably have had a few guys. I've had sex with a few guys, right? And he goes,
Well,
That's the story. You know what?
Okay, so I guess you don't need a punchline.
No, you don't need a punchline. This is the new comedy,
The new
Joy.
comedians, no punchline.
If you think this one is funny, then you have to see the Norm Show. Now, I have to actually write down your character. It's a tax-evading former hockey player sentenced to community service as a social worker.
yeah, that's right, yeah.
You just couldn't come up with a guy named Joe. No, it's this person here.
Yeah.
But I'm told, even with this comic timing, you can't remember your lines.
I can't memorize stuff, you know what I mean? I'm not good at memorizing. We only have 1 minute, by the way.
You can read. So what do you do?
He wasn't holding up that finger, so go ahead.
That's a funny one.
What do you do? Well, you weren't listening? What do you do? How do you memorize? How do you do
I can't
it?
memorize things, like, because in each script we get each week, there's like 600-700 words.
Wow.
You know? And you have to say them in order. You know what I mean?
That's really hard.
That ain't easy.
What is it like on the set of that show with you?
What is it like? Well, what do you mean?
What do I mean? Well, because you're so average.
She thinks you're wacky.
Well, I'm just saying it's hard to memorize. We're not walking around the set going, hey, you know.
What do you do?
He's being critical of us.
I love this show. This is a great show. No, what I do is I try to, like, sometimes, if you watch the show, sometimes you'll see, like, I'll forget a line.
Not just have you on, we have to watch it.
You have to watch the show, yeah.
Okay.
No, but sometimes, geez, this is a long minute. Sometimes, like, if you watch the show, you'll notice, sometimes maybe during the show, there'll be, like, sometimes, like, 20 minutes will pass where nobody will say anything. You know what I mean? Because it was my line. But there's ways to cover. Sometimes I'll just read a newspaper.
You've admitted that you're lazy. I think you've read 6 books in your life.
I've read 6.
6. What kind of a woman would be attracted to you, do you think?
Well, I have a lot of money.
Oh.
Just announced yesterday when we all pranced before the advertisers.
I met Barbara
It's been renewed for
yesterday.
next year's. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
remember?
And I have forgiven you for all those takeoffs you did on all of us very serious news people.
Oh, on the Saturday Night
On the
Live
Saturday
program?
Night Live.
You were brilliant.
What?
You were brilliant.
you're
on
sweet.
that. No, you were.
You really were.
Well, tell us about your garbage collecting day.
Joy's book is great. Did you read it?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you,
That was a very
Thank you,
funny book.
Norm.
I really enjoyed
Joystick.
it.
Say the name of the book.
Enough already.
Joystick.
We're coming back at the last segment. We're talking hot topics, and we're going to be discussing Star Wars. Do you want to stick around and join
And
us?
action
Yeah, that'd be
figures.
great.
You're going to come back. And your minute is up. Okay, be sure to catch the Norm Show tonight at 9:30 Eastern right here on ABC. Later, Barbara's showing you her eye makeup secrets. But when we come back, find out what you do every day that can really be bad for your health. We'll be right back.
Go, girl.
Where was her? All of us sitting here instead of being at home. Anyhow, so unless you've been living under a rock, Star Wars. I do not understand why people stand in line for days and days and days. They can't see the movie in 2 weeks. I mean, they don't have jobs. In any event, so I went to see Star Wars. I have never seen any of the Star Wars, and I felt terrible about it until I learned that
I never saw
seen
it.
it.
Never saw the first
No,
one.
I never saw any of them.
No.
You never saw anything? You never wanted to see Star Wars?
No, I never liked them. I don't like those science fiction because my dad always hated them. And you know how you try to be what your dad, you try to be, you know what I mean? And I remember when I was a kid, I watched that Twilight Zone. Remember that show? And oh my God, my dad hated it because it was too fantastical, and he thought I should be doing the chores. And I remember one time, me and my brother were watching Star Wars.
My son was. Have you ever seen Star Wars?
This goes on. That's Norm.
We only have 2 more minutes.
I was just giving you a little backstory. But me and my brother were watching the Twilight Zone, and then my dad walked by, and we were watching, and we were all excited about this Twilight Zone. And then my dad walked by, and he looked at like the screen, and he said, "I suppose this one's a goddamn ghost."
Oh, well, that was funny. Okay. Anyway, we're going to give our quick review. So, I had never seen it. I thought all of the, you know, the mechanical figures and all of that, I thought that was fine, you know, but it was okay. What do you think?
Well, I tell you, I did love the pod race. That's the best part. There's this race in the middle of it. I'm a big Star Wars fan because
What about
Harrison
Billy
Ford,
D. Williams? I bet you like him.
race back in the day with the real original Star Wars.
I hear that was
with
better.
yes, with my man Harrison Ford playing Han Solo. Now that was some Star Wars. Now I have to tell you a confession, Barbara. I fell asleep for 10 full minutes in this Star Wars.
I
was watching it. What happened?
I did too.
You did?
Yeah, sort of in the middle. And you never go to Star Wars.
No, you know what? I'm not interested in
You know what
Star Wars. I'm
happened? You know what
interested-
happened when she fell asleep? Meredith's husband had sex with her.
You weren't supposed to tell. Yes? You might get a little of that if you weren't so busy fondling
what
these
are you
action
doing
figures.
with
I mean, what
her?
are you about? No, well, you know what? There's a psychiatrist. Is it from Harvard? I think it is. Who's been studying these figures and noticed that their muscles are getting bigger, and boys have body images. They don't talk about it, but they do body image problems. And part of it is because of these action figures. They see these and they want to look like them when they get
have
bigger.
the same problems as girls.
Girls,
do.
So
yeah.
what are you doing with that poor action figure?
Oh, I'm fighting. I am Tom Glavine. I will beat you.
Did you ever have a body image problem?
Yeah,
Or do you
because I'm
now?
really, really thin, so I always wear like lots of clothes because I'm ashamed of my thinness.
No, seriously?
Yeah, look, you can put your whole hand around my wrist. See how tiny it is?
Most boys are built
That's not good
thin.
for a boy.
I mean, if you want to look like this, boys now know that if they want to look like this, they have to take steroids or turn gay. That's how you look like this.
But you're very tall.
I was going to take those
Doesn't that make up
steroids.
for it?
What?
You're going to take steroids?
Yeah. But then I found out, you know that they shrink your testicles? Did you know that?
I thought that was the fun part.
You know what? If you look at this little
you
action
guys,
figure, I'm telling you.
Unfortunately, we're out of time.
Oh.
Too bad. And I have to say, Norm, that speaking as you just did, you fit right into this category. And we may just add you every day to our Hot Topics. Norm, you are
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
We'll be right back.
Well, another Thanksgiving has come and gone, and I thought it would be a good idea this year for me and my mother to say what we were thankful for. This is my mother, Fern. Now, we've written them down on index cards, what we're most thankful for. Should I begin?
You can just start.
I am thankful for the opportunity to do stand-up comedy for a living. Why, there is nothing more gratifying than to step out on a stage before a quiet crowd and through my comedy, turn them into an unruly mob.
I am thankful for the brave man who pulled me from a burning building last week and sadly perished. In the process, I'll never forget him. I don't remember his name, but I think he had a mustache.
I am thankful for women, the greatest creatures on earth, because without women, there would be no cookies.
I am thankful for the kindly ladies who live across the country and leave pies on their windowsills. So an old chunk of coal like me have a bite to eat from time to time. I am thankful for the troops, except for that one guy. I am thankful for all of my grandchildren, especially the ones I like. thankful for the fine young men and women of the LAPD, along with the Burbank Police Department, who joined forces this year and finally solved the baffling murder of Bob Hope. And finally, I am thankful for friends without which it would be a cold and dark place. Yes, friends especially like ones where Joey gets Chandler a duck. The end. I hope everybody had a really happy Thanksgiving.
Why you going high? Push me to the side. Just keep going on and I ain't getting tired. Yeah, you try to crucify all the good inside. You go and call 911.
The last one. Okay. I went to the doctor the other day, and he told me, you are what you eat. So I ate a bowl of Count Chocula. I went home and became a Dracula! Oh, good Lord. That's enough nonsense for one day. I'll write it all down and hold it out here. I'll have somebody. And that's what I need. If you're going to do all these, I need a person with a. What do they call them? A what?
Cue card.
A cue card. That's it. I need somebody with cue cards. Don't you think?
I think it's a little early to be a diva.
Oh, I think it's too late to be a diva. Have fun.
Norm MacDonald said he used to, when he would hit on girls, he pretended he was drunk so he could act like an asshole. Because then they can't get mad because you're drunk. So if you do something inappropriate, they're like, well, he's a drunk guy. You got any more stories?
You guys see the Gilbert Gottfried when they?
I didn't see that documentary. No.
No. When Norm's there's some roast and Norm goes up and he just bombs on purpose.
Yeah.
And he goes, Gilbert Gottfried, if you see during this as a gentleman, go ahead and enter. I get very.
He goes, Cloris Leachman. They say she's over the hill, not in the car I saw her driving.
He said it in the roast?
Yeah.
That is a good one.
The whole crowd's like this. It's so funny.
He's bombing and he never cracked. He never cracked.
And he goes, Greg Giraldo. And I was like a hawk. Something like a sparrow. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is for the birds.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then Norton said something like, he goes, watching.
It's so great.
Norton says something like, watching Norm do this is like watching Peter or Henry Fonda pick grapes. And Norm goes, that sounds very interesting. He didn't even fight back on that one when he was insulted.
Oh, God.
No, but you got to have balls to do that, right?
Oh.
To bomb on
Just
TV
commit to it.
in front of everybody.
It's committed.
And like he said, he didn't fucking wink.
Yeah, but where do you think you get that from? Being Canadian?
No, he's just like that. No, Canadians
but
aren't like that.
To bomb on TV?
Yeah.
He was doing it for the other comics. He was doing it for them. He wasn't.
No, but they weren't even laughing because they were the jokes
dying.
were so bad. That was not. They would cut to the comics and they were just looking. I mean, they were laughing, but not like. It was still like an awkward laugh.
I think.
I say you can't teach somebody that.
And then Howard Stern goes the next day. I didn't really think it was that funny. And Artie goes, do you know the balls it took? Howard goes, why does it take balls? And Artie goes, because it is like you wouldn't get it. And he did it anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like,
no.
It's true. It's true. You got it. Everyone's gonna take it the wrong way.
Those 9 people in the back of the room that are just side splitting.
Yeah, but even them, even when they
took balls,
even when they cut to other comics, the comics were still like, "What is he doing?" You know,
Yeah,
they
but
thought
they're
he
insecure.
was setting up something, but he never set up anything. There was no punchline.
He just hit him with zinger
He just
after
kept
zinger.
doing like bad. It was something that you would write.
Susie Essman thinks she's says she's a vegetarian. I don't know if when I see it tonight, she's full of baloney.
I mean, you can't. You got to be born with that. You can't do that.
God.
Nobody can do that.
No, Norm is the only one who
You
can do
can't
it.
have balls like
Norm's
that.
the
People
only
said-
guy that could make it that funny, too.
Yeah,
Just-
people said Letterman had balls. Letterman didn't have any balls
No.
compared. I mean, to do it on TV, he would like take chances,
Yeah.
but that's in a studio.
No.
This is bombing in front of your peers, and
literally strutted up there like he had all the fucking holding all the cards. And that he
like-
committed to, just like I got this fucking his joke like he's on a 1971 fucking
And no
roast.
cards
Yeah.
or anything. Just
no, because you think he's
imagine
setting
over the
something
hill,
up. You think he's setting up
Cloris
some
Leachman.
big thing.
Yeah.
Says she's over the hill. Not in the car I saw her driving.
They weren't even good puns. I mean, they were good
genius.
puns in the
It's
the
just
sense of like
genius. It's
how
just- Yeah.
when you
can't
go,
touch
what
it.
am I gonna? How do you write a bad pun? It's not
But
that
how about
simple.
the fact that instead of just going, he's for the birds, he goes, this, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is for the birds.
He throws up like 3 types of birds. Like, he takes his
But he
time.
goes, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
like, I finally figured out what the fucking problem. It was so.
Who was that for Geraldo?
Yeah.
Were you there?
No.
You just
I
saw
watched
it.
it and I go, holy fuck. I knew immediately because I know him. He does that shit, he's so funny.
No, but Bob has a beautiful face like a flower. Yeah, cauliflower. No offense, but your face looks like a cauliflower. No, there are times when Bob has something on his mind when he wears a hat. With no thoughts at all, just a hat. Bob, you have a lot of well-wishers here tonight, and a lot of them would like to throw you down one, a well. They want to murder you in a well. Seems a little harsh, but apparently they want to murder you in a well. It says here on this card. And Bob is not very worldly. He thinks the English Channel is a British TV station and not a body of water separating England and France. And Bob isn't the biggest sports fan. I don't think I'm telling any tales out of school. I took him to a ball game, and he came toting a double-barreled shotgun. You remember that? I said, "What the H is that for?" Bob said, "I heard the Lions were playing the Tigers." You remember that?
Yeah. NORM MACDONALD, God bless you. Watching your set was like watching Henry Fonda pick blueberries.
Why, I don't think there's a person in here that would not love to watch Henry Fonda pick blueberries.
Yeah. Like his other thing that he does is he'll just fucking flip it on you. He does it all the time. It's so funny. We'll be like, "What? You're saying you want you're homophobic?" He's like, "No, I was saying this guy's homophobic." What? You have a problem with, like, you just twist me, and it's great with like politically correct type people. 'Cause
Yeah.
he flips it on them.
No, he did that to me when I worked on his sports show.
Oh yeah, you know him well. Yeah.
I gave him a ride. Then I was staying at Neil's house. Then they're like 2 blocks away in Santa Monica. So Norm goes, "It's Friday night. We have off Saturday." Norm goes, "You want to come up?" I go, "No." I go, because I think he's tricking me. Because if I say yeah, then I'm gay.
Yeah.
So I go, "No, I don't want to come up." So I go up. He eventually talks me into going up. It's awkward. So then I leave. Then when we go back to work, he goes, "Yeah." Then Brennan drops me off. He goes, "Can I come up?" I'm like, "What do you want to come up for?" He goes, "I want to see. I want to see your apartment." I go, "The guy must be queer." Like he goes to the whole thing. He's like the boss. He's my boss, so I have to let him tell the story. You know? I can't interrupt
so
him.
funny. Yeah.
No, it's classic. I didn't know that was one of his
he's
classic
great
maneuvers.
at that kind of stuff.
You say you're homophobic.
No, he'll do it with anybody. I mean, you know. We went shopping one time when we were doing the movie in Boston, and then the guy's like, he goes, I need to buy jeans. He just walks in and just announces, I need to buy jeans. Like, it's a store full of jeans, but he acts like, you know, it's a fucking, whatever the jean store is. Yeah. And he acts like, I need jeans. And then the guy's like, well, sure. What size do you like? He goes, and so-and-so. He goes, all right, just go in the back of the boot. What? Go back there and you want me to take my pants off? Look at this guy. And he starts telling all the other customers, this guy just told me to go in the back and take my pants off. I just came here to buy clothes. This guy wants me to go in the back and just take your pants off. I'm in my underwear.
Was he was saying that with somebody there with him, or was just?
I was with him.
Oh, yeah.
The whole store's laughing, but it's like,
oh my
what?
God.
He just causes a fucking ruckus.
That's classic.
There was only one man in town who could make people afraid of him even from beyond the grave. And that man was Richard Chubby. Because with Big Chubby gone, there was only one person to take over the family business. His son, Little Chubby.
Back again, Burt Reynolds in a commanding lead with $14.
Hey, check out the podium. Look at this.
Mr. Reynolds has apparently changed his name to Turd Ferguson.
Yeah, that's right. Turd Ferguson. It's a funny name.
Norm and I were hanging out in his office one day playing a game where you had words and you had to do an impression of somebody saying the same sentence. And he did Burt Reynolds doing it. And we go, oh, well, there we go. So how can we get Burt Reynolds on TV?
And then one time I was talking to Burt Reynolds, and he said he wanted to come on the show while I was doing Celebrity Jeopardy, and then punch me in the face and take over. And then he'd be even stupider. But then I got fired, so he couldn't do it.
The sketch that you got on the air, and you say in your book, hey, you know, I didn't originate this sketch. I kind of stole this sketch with permission. But the famous Jeopardy bit.
Yes, Jeopardy sketch.
Where you play Burt Reynolds,
yes.
and you say Will Ferrell was key to that sketch because he played such a great Jeopardy host.
Yes.
That thing was one of the most popular sketches, and you pitched that, but you admit in your memoir that, hey, that's something I got from SCTV.
Yeah.
And I waited till Martin Short was a guest on the show, and I pitched it and said, can we do the Jeopardy thing?
Yeah. They did a sketch on SCTV when I was a child called Halfwits, and it was, Alex Trebek was in the sketch because he was a Canadian. And it was... it was just these kids. It was when two schools would fight each other.
Yeah.
And so it was real stupid. So I always loved that show, and I said, Celebrity Jeopardy, they always ask such easy questions, and the celebrities are all so stupid. It would be great to do it. Unfortunately, they've already done it, and I feel like I shouldn't just steal a sketch.
Right.
So when Mr. Short came to do the show, who later became my friend, I said, who wrote that sketch? And he said, Eugene Levy. And I said, maybe we could phone him, and
get permission.
And so he said, yeah, we'll do a conference call. And I said, no, I'll phone, I'm a man,
Yeah.
So I phoned Eugene Levy, and I asked him, I told him the whole sketch. I said how much I loved the first one, and I asked permission, and he was kind enough to give it to me.
There was no better show than that SCTV. That was unbelievable,
God,
right?
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Unbelievable.
Why does Turd Ferguson? Why does Burt Reynolds hate Alex Trebek?
What's funny is I wrote that sketch because on Saturday Night Live you have to do impressions once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do impressions, But I do like 4 or 5 guys from when I was a kid that I liked, Like Letterman I liked, so I could do an impression of him. And when I was a little kid, Burt Reynolds used to be on The Tonight Show, and he was like the funniest guy ever. So I wanted to do Burt Reynolds, but I couldn't figure out how to put him in anything because
And so I wrote the sketch Celebrity Jeopardy so I could do my Burt Reynolds. And then when it comes time to tape it, like Lauren told Costume to have a white hair for me and a white beard. And I'm like, no, Lauren, I don't do Burt Reynolds. I do Burt Reynolds from the 1970s, from Smokey and the Bandit.
Because that didn't make sense either. Nobody knew why. Why was it 70s?
I know, it made no sense. But it's funny, like you say, Turd Ferguson, because on one of them I go, Burt Reynolds goes, that's not my name, to Alex Trebek, and he forces himself to be called Turd Ferguson. He forces Alex Trebek to call him Turd Ferguson.
Right.
So anyway, somehow that caught on with some people. So still to this day, like sometimes I'll be walking down the street and a guy will go, "Hey, turd!" And then I go, "Thank you," and then everyone else goes, "What?
What is going on?
What kind of universe is this?" Hey, you worked with Burt Reynolds.
Yes, I did work
on
with
the
Burt Reynolds.
TV show. Right?
Yeah, on Evening Shade. Yeah.
Do you have any crazy Burt Reynolds stories?
He did hit me one time live in front of an audience, and I couldn't breathe and I couldn't say my lines.
Slap?
He hit me with an open hand, but in the lung, and he's got arms like Popeye, those big forearms. And in the thing, I'm supposed to hit him. I'm supposed to slap him on the back and say something which pisses him off or whatever. And I come out there before the live audience, and when we rehearsed it, he said, "I'm an old stunt man, so hit me as hard as you can." And I guess I hit him really hard because his natural reaction, I guess, was to hit me in the lung, and I couldn't talk, and they had to sort of suspend the big show for a few minutes while I got my breath back.
I wanted Burt Reynolds on the show, and he was like, "Oh, you don't want him. He's crazy." And I'm like, "No, I don't want you. I want him." Like, I kind of wanted a crazy guy. Which is what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about.
Oh, yeah. Burt
was this
Reynolds,
notion of crazy. Yeah.
Burt Reynolds.
But he's funny.
I remember one time he caught his hair on fire when he was over.
On the lot.
Yeah, he came over and he had caught his hair on fire. I don't know how. We're like, "Oh, you better go to the doctor. You've got a big friggin' hole in your scalp."
Because Roseanne's show was on the Radford, along with Seinfeld and Evening Shade. And I remember hearing a story, all his stories about Burt. And he would go on his hiatus, he'd go away and hire people for the show. And then people would show up, quit their job, in whatever bar he just found them in.
That's great.
And they'd come and go, "We're ready to work." And he'd go, "What?" And they'd just pay him off. And the guy'd have to go home. But can you imagine that? Like you're in your little town and Burt Reynolds shows up at your candy store and offers you a job.
That's kind of, what was he thinking?
I don't know. But I think he had some, you were talking about you had OCD. He must have had some crazy stuff. I met Burt Reynolds, though, which was an amazing...
Was he pissed? Because he doesn't have a big sense of humor, does he?
You know what Burt Reynolds loves to do is slap you in the face really hard.
He's like one of those masculine guys. He's punching you,
But no, he was real nice to me. And
did he slap you?
He told me really funny stories. He told me he was in Deliverance, which I loved. He said, I used to do my own gags. Gags, I guess, are like stunts. He was a stunt man.
Yeah.
And so he said, they had this gag and where I went over waterfall.
And what, a car or something?
No, he just fell. This wasn't.
He just falls off a waterfall.
Bandit. This was like Deliverance. They were in the middle of.
Right.
So he says, "I'll do the fall. We don't need a stuntman." Frankenheimer says, "No, we need a stuntman." He goes, "Nah, we don't want that." He goes, "Okay, well, we'll just use a dummy. We'll just throw a dummy over,
Yeah.
And he goes, "No." So Frankenheimer's idea was just to throw a dummy over, and Burt Reynolds said, "No, absolutely, I'm going to do it myself." So Burt Reynolds says he does it, and he said he did. He said some term I'm not familiar with. I do a half bike or something like that. He said his shoulder immediately hit a rock, then his head hit another rock.
Oh, God.
And then he said, the next thing you remember, he's way downstream. All his clothes had been torn off him. And he looked up and he was just like in shock, right? The next thing he remembers, he's waking up in a hospital. Yeah. John Frankenheimer is at his bedside. And he goes, then I said to John, how'd it look, on the daily? And John Frankenheimer said it looked like a dummy falling off a platform. So that made me laugh.
So he does have a good sense of humor.
He has a very good sense of humor.
And did Bert smack you around a couple of times just to show you where it was at?
So what was the first sketch that you ever got on, or what was the first written material that you ever got on the show?
I wrote a sketch for the first show because Burt Reynolds had just was on Larry King Live and was kind of famous at the time that because he was in a contentious divorce with Lonnie Anderson, and he was wearing this crazy purple suit on Larry King Live, and he announced, "I will, Lonnie Anderson is lying, and I will get her on this show with you, Larry, and we'll both take truth serum." And I was like, truth serum? What? Is that even a real thing? So it was so funny. And then so I wrote a sketch where they both drank like from beakers of truth serum, And Lauren did not care for it. It opened the show, It was like a big hit at the table. What's his name did Burt Reynolds? Phil Hartman. It was Phil Hartman and Jan Hooks. And it just... the next week, Lauren pointed to it as the example of what we should not be doing on the show. He said it was just he calls things Carol Burnettish, which is the ultimate insult. He said it was just the most Carol Burnettish type of sketch. But I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know. And he let me do it. It got all the way to the air. He chose it, and he put it on first. Not my fault.
I love the Burt Reynolds impression you do. So a bit about A, like the genesis of it. B, has Burt, have you met Burt? Has he commented? And just while I have this, over the 41 years of SNL, I'm wondering, besides Farley, going back to day one, who are the players that really you most admire and maybe shaped anything?
Well, when I was a kid, I liked, my favorite was Dan Aykroyd about 9 Miles. And I always wondered why Chevy was the star, because I thought, God damn, Dan Aykroyd can do anybody, and he's so funny and stuff. And the reason I want to do Burt Reynolds, because I loved him when I was a kid. I don't really do impressions, but guys who I really like, I can do. And guys that are funny, it's kind of a cheat, but you do an impression of them, and then you're funny because they're funny. Do you know what I mean? So I always used to watch him on the Tonight Show, and I said, I gotta give him a sketch. So then I stole this sketch called Halfwits from Second City, and I turned that into Celebrity Jeopardy. And I felt really bad for stealing the sketch. And so I waited until because Martin Short was coming on. And I said, Martin, can I do this sketch? I stole it from Halfwits. And then he said, I didn't write it. Eugene Levy wrote it. And I had to phone Eugene Levy and ask him. And he was a gentleman about it and said that I could do it. But then when I did it, Lauren picks out the wardrobe. He had this gray hair and gray beard and stuff. And I was like, no, I want to play it from the 70s. It's kind of odd, but all the time I did it, nobody ever commented. And the 3 celebrities, one of them was from 50 years ago. Oh, Burt, yeah, no, I met him, and goddamn, that guy was funny. He just told me the funniest stories. And he wanted to, he said he wanted to, this is a story he told me. He said, he get all these girls when he was young, he was so handsome. And he said one time he was in a hotel, and there's this beautiful blonde, and she said, just come up to my room, and have a lot of sex. So he goes up to her room, and they're kissing on the bed and stuff, and then he said she whispered in his ear, and she said, I'll be right back. I have to take a dump. So she ran away. Most of us would run away, but he could just get the next girl and
It's like with comics, it's like you have to love doing what you do and actually do it.
You're so
you know what I
right.
mean? Like you can't just like be lazy. That skates by for when you're naturally funny, you can be lazy at first, but eventually you got to get your shit together and work. It's, you know.
A lot of people don't know that you're on the road like 300 something days a year. You're doing stand-up.
I was trying to, B.B. King told me he did 320 days a year. Big man, you know, with, you know, and he had to prick his fingers. Everybody used loose steel. So I said, I'm going to try beat B.B. King. If he can do it, I can do it. But I never got past 300 I did last year.
But it was kind of a lot. Wow. You're like the Jay-Z of stand-up.
These broken pieces I hold in my hands don't have a chance to mend at all. Before they get thrown into chaos again, I try to pretend I'm whole enough to stand in this world so unsteady.
One of the biggest anti-Semites I've ever met.
Rushing away from
I had a
Jews.
bar mitzvah. What?
I had a bar mitzvah, Norm.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah.
Wait, are you Jewish?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm kidding. I love the Jewish people. He's Jewish.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah.
Okay, then you'll get it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Half Jewish.
No, I'm full.
Full Jewish.
Full Jewish. All right, then. But you're young, so you might not get it.
Maybe.
Okay, so here's the joke.
Holocaust denier.
I'm also.
I'm not going to hold that against you.
Norm, I'm sleeping with your wife.
You son of a bitch, motherfucker! Huh? You sleep with my fucking wife? You son of a bitch, cocksucker! You're my best fucking friend, Adam! God damn you, motherfucker! I'll fucking kill you! You sleep with, that's what you were doing on fucking Friday night, were you, huh? You fucking bastard! You say you Okay, I apologize. We had some technical difficulties. Got a little carried away. I gotta apologize. I feel partially responsible. So
what was that? You don't even have a wife. You don't even have a wife.
That's true. I never was the marrying kind. Okay, we're ready to pull the classic vodka and funnel prank. Yeah, you swallow that, you fucker. You drink that down. You don't fucking spit that out. Yeah, you like it, you fucker. Drink it. Fucking swallow that fucking.
What the fuck is?
Adam Egat.
Yeah.
Would you come in, please?
What's up? How'd it go?
I just wanted to compliment you. Yes, you have a very nice tie. I like your shirt. Louisville Slugger. Oh, God. You see, I care enough to use a brand name. That's right, Dandy. Why don't you just say Brand X, you bum? It's called authenticity. Right, you're not worth a bent penny, you damn drunkard.
Just gotta do something, though. Okay. What? You have like somewhere to be? Or? No. I just gotta do something.
Oh, no! Oh, good Christ almighty! That is a lot of pain! Oh, God, you're kicking me in the belly! Why? Oh, please stop! Okay, fair enough. Just don't kick me in the face.
Some fellas are blessed. Adam Egan, where have you been? Turns out, in a jiffy, the wig came off. He could have, by the way, why the hell did it take you so long? I had to talk to Gala for 10 minutes. You get...
Fucking suck that venom. Yeah, you fucking suck that fucking venom. Yeah, you want to spit it out? You got a fucking mouth loader. Ah, fucking shoot it out of your face, you fucking cunt. You fucking whore. Ah!
Oh, thanks, dude. I didn't get any of that in my mouth.
Yeah, no problem, man. We'll be back with Simon Helber. You fucking sit down. No, but Andy's a fantastic guy.
I'm curious about something.
And when I say, I used to make jokes at 12:30 about him being gay, that's absolutely ridiculous. But when we were starting out, I will tell you one story about Andy. This is what happened.
I'm scared.
I was working at Art's
the deli coffee shop.
Deli and coffee shop, bussing tables. So Andy comes up to me and he goes, "Hey man, I got a way to make some money." I said, "What is your way?" He goes, "I'm going to become a male prostitute." Now I said, "Andy, you're not gay. It doesn't make any sense." He goes, "But a guy has to make a dollar." So I said, "All right, do what you want." So he comes to me the next day and he says, "Hey, I'm buying breakfast." I says, "Why is that?" He says, "I made $450.05 last night." Wow. I said, "What on earth?" He goes, "Yeah, did some tricks there, they call it." So I said to him, I eat steak and eggs. I eat, expensive. He says, "That's all right. I made $450.05. And I said, "Well, who on earth gave you 5 cents?" He said, "Every one of them."
Good God, you're a horse's ass.
I was concerned. That's simple arithmetic. That's 9,001 dudes.
I will take a break.
He says he's mature, and I think it's because he's telling my grandfather's jokes.
Stop it, both of you. Whoa. We're going to take a break right now. For some reason that escapes me, there'll be more with Norm MacDonald in just a moment.
Know the end is day, nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same. Say I'm all I need.
For motivation, you still don't understand what our children are up against. Let me read you something that was posted on our message boards from someone who claims to be a member of a known pedophile network. It said this: "He doesn't forgive. He does not forget. His group has over 9,000 penises."
It's over 9,000! Over 9,000! Vegeta! Over 9,000!
You know what I was way ahead on? Slut shaming. I was always against that. I remember telling the fellas in high school, I go, "Guys, I think we're making a big mistake by shaming the sluts." You see, here's what is my concern. I feel if we shame them too much, they might stop becoming sluts, and further ladies might not want to be sluts either. I have a different idea. Other than shaming the sluts, it's a bold idea. I say we take the sluts and we put them on our shoulders and we go, "Oh, hail the slut. Oh, for she's a jolly good slut," that kind of thing, So I was way ahead of it, man. Way ahead of it. But anyway.
Some days we get closer. Things that we never really needed. Promises that we never thought of keeping safe. I guess it's never over. If we
Farrah, the first time I ever saw you, I thought, oh my God, that is one of the whoriest looking whores I have ever seen in my life. I have seen a lot of whores because I'm a rock star. And, I've seen ladies like in the front row look at me with that super hoary look on their face. and you look hoarier than all of them. And that really means something.
Try to at least do comedy. I hope most of my evolving comes from being a decent person, but I'll tell you, make no mistake about it. A lot of it comes from, I don't want to be one of these comedians on the wrong side of history. And I fucking love comedy, but if you go look at old stuff,
yes.
Whew, God damn it, aren't comedians today going, that's embarrassing?
Yes.
And by the way, you could say this, well, whenever you look at comedy 30 years later,
no, Rodney Dangerfield, I'm punching the wall.
I tell you, I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape, you know? Now, last week I told my wife I need a home improvement loan. She gave me $1,000 to move out. I'll tell you, my wife, there's always something, you know? Well, the other day I called her up. I said to her, honey, I've been thinking about the last time we had sex. I'm getting excited. She said, who is this?
I'm not talking about that it's whether it was funny then or not. How much of it is racist or sexist or homophobic, fluffy, the audiences are liking it. So now I think about it today, because so quickly you can turn into doing the same thing.
Sure.
You're like, so you got to be very aware of it. And that's
You've
why
got to look into the future. It's like the word retard.
And finally, the Oscar nominations were announced this week, and Tom Hanks and Jodie Foster are in a heated competition in the Academy's controversial new category, Best Retard.
Some people are holding on to it, and it's amazing because before you argue with it, they should stop saying retarded. I like to ask two questions. I go, number one, because you have to find out about their past. And if they answer these questions differently, I give them the different speech. I go, do you think Jew me down? Do you think we stopped it because we shouldn't have had to, but people are so PC? And if they went, no, that's horrible. I think crude is funny. I think crass is funny. Crude, crass, it fucking makes me laugh. Again, just be crude and crass towards the right things. Because I think what everyone's saying is, God, can't we have a sense of humor? Can't we laugh at each other? Most comedians that use that on stage, that line a lot, can't we laugh at each other? Can't they laugh at each other? I want to go, of course we can laugh at each other. What the fuck are you talking about? That's not your question. Your question is, can't we laugh at each other? Stereotypes have been overdone.
Yes,
can't we?
Like, you're gay, I'm straight, this guy.
Do you think we stop saying N-rig, which means, or N-rich, or nigger-rich, or nigger-rig, which were terms that some people are going, were they terms? Because, well, it's a fine. Or do you think we just shouldn't use people?
Or what'd they say when you, stop with that joint there, you're getting spit on it.
So, no, hold on a second. So most people would say that we stopped those things because it was egregious.
Yes.
I know what I'm saying.
I know.
And so you have to say,
another
so
example.
if the answer, that's saying, I didn't need to be honest with my feelings, but I go, and whenever anybody says I don't need to be a woman about it, you know what they're really saying? It's like when people go, I don't mean to be a Jew about it. Well, you just were. So you can't just erase it. You can't go, normally I would pay full price, but a little Jew slipped in me. I got a little Jew in me, but not normally I wouldn't Jew you down.
Yeah.
I know what I'm saying.
No, he said that the other night. He said,
I never said a Jew slipped in me.
I thought you said a little Jew slipped into you.
I know it's time to close my eyes to old ends, open up to new friends, leave my heart in Berlin, where the tables turning, seeking up the.
What about this? One time I was auditioning for this is the first time I was ever in America, and I was auditioning for the Joan Rivers show. So me and Howard Busgang were from Canada, and we got the show. I didn't do it, but we got the show along with Mario Cantone. And so Mario Cantone, we were at the Hyatt, and me and Howard Busgang and this other guy are smoking a joint. I'm not smoking, but they're both smoking this joint. So I say, why don't you invite Mario Cantone over? I'm sure he likes it. Weed, comedians. So phone up. Mario Cantone goes, I'll be right over. So he comes over with his lover. Clearly they had been just fucking, like sweat, red faces, everything, right? So they go, yeah, we'll take some. They're smoking it so fast, and they're obviously using it as an aphrodisiac, to go back. Then they hand it back, all this spit. Now this was in a very serious time of AIDS.
Norm, are you okay? I mean, and I love your
No, I'm just saying, Howard Busgang smoked that joint.
What's this have to do with them and they're just fooling around?
Joining us now, Robert Duvall, whose new movie, 7 Days in Utopia, is now in theaters. Mr. Duvall, welcome.
Oh, yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, baby. I was telling Kevin earlier, this is how I go to movies. People go, you want to go to a movie? I go, is Robert Duvall in it? They go, yes, I go.
Well, all right, Dave. That's okay. If that's what you really mean, that's fine.
I really mean it. And I consider you the greatest actor in the world.
Well, thank you very much.
And I wonder, because I always think if somebody is the best, they know it at some level. And also, I know that you're a man of faith and false modesty is a sin. And I was wondering, do you consider yourself the greatest actor in the world?
I think I can hold my own with a lot of people. So I don't know if there's one person that's the greatest. Some people say Daniel Day-Lewis is the best. He's improved. I didn't used to like him. I like him a lot now. But there's a group that are very good. So I don't know if anybody's the best.
Well, here's how I am with acting. I have a lot of problems with acting because I have trouble suspending my disbelief. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times when I'm watching an actor, I can see him acting. Like I'm going, oh, that guy's acting.
Right.
I don't see that with you. Never.
Well, you try to keep it invisible. You try to take it back to just the basic premise of I talk, you listen, I talk, to keep it that simple between the words action and cut, if you're doing film, so you try to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, an actor... Well, let's say a guy is always himself, you know what I mean? Like a guy like John Wayne or something like that.
He could be very good.
Him, I believe, because there's no disconnect between what I see when he's interviewed and what I see. But you, on the other hand, are different in every role.
Well, you still got to bring yourself underneath. There's only one you, right?
Right, that's true, yeah.
So you can't really become something that you're not. You create the illusion of something else, but it's you underneath. You got one set of emotions, one psyche, one everything. So you have to know how to use yourself to bend it or whatever to make it seem like it's something else.
Now, I've noticed in your body of work, obviously talking to you, you're an incredibly literate person and a very thinking person. And I met you one time. I'll tell you this. I met you one time at Saturday Night Live. Garth Brooks was the host, and you came in.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I was very excited because you were going to do I don't know if you remember this, you were going to do a song.
Yeah.
And you didn't do it, and I was very sad about that. But I was so, I wanted to meet you so bad, and then I met you and I talked to you, and I had all these questions for you. And then you started talking to me and asking me questions. And you were looking at me very deeply and asking me, because I come from a rural farm area in Canada, and you were asking me about ranchers and stuff like that. And I don't know if you did that to deflect my questions or if you do that to study people and steal their soul.
I don't know. What part, where are you from? What part of Canada?
So you're doing it right now. I'm from rural Alberta.
I love Alberta. That's the only part of Canada I really like.
Oh, really?
I love Alberta. The ranch people up there, the Buse family. It's good people up there. Great people. Yeah.
And that brings me to you. You often portray the common man. Is that something that you're not Southern, but you've played a lot of Southern characters?
Well, my dad's from Virginia, and that's the beginning of the South, so I feel comfortable, I like the Southeast Conference Football League, and I feel okay in the South, even though, in Texas, too, some of my mother's people are from Texas, which is below the Mason-Dixon line, so to speak,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to portray the common man, except, when I played, one of my favorite parts was when I played Joseph Stalin. He wasn't so he was common, but not so common,
So you don't mind playing a guy that you have to figure out the good part of him or something?
No, each part's a challenge, so, you go with what you have to do, research or whatever, and just jump in and do it,
Now, Kevin Farley has a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever been you've done some big movies with big actors. Was it ever hard? Like, did you get nervous, and how do you deal with your nerves? When you have to really bring your game, your A game, and and that could, like, say, The Godfather with the scenes with Brando or anything like that. Were you ever really nervous where you had trouble like controlling your nerves? Where you're like, oh gosh.
Yeah, well, the last job I did, it was the most nervous I've ever got in my career. I worked with Billy Bob Thornton. I call him the hillbilly Orson Welles. The guy's brilliant, and we did an interesting movie. And the night before, I had to do a scene, and it worked, but I was so frightened. I had to do a guy that his grandson slips LSD in his iced tea.
Wow.
And I had to, like, unbeknownst, I had to. So I did. I think that intense fear helped propel me into the scene and make it work in a strange way.
Yeah.
Because it was a very demanding scene, but it worked. It worked, and Billy doesn't care if you change things. Some of these directors you can't change to ah to eh.
Yeah.
But a guy like Billy, he leaves it open, even though the writing is brilliant. What he's done, he lets you come up with stuff at the moment, which is very admirable. I think.
Yeah.
It is interesting that you bring up Billy Bob Thornton, because I agree with you. When I saw Sling Blade, I was like, this guy is exactly what you said. I said, this guy's Orson Welles. How did he do
absolutely.
this?
He's up there with Coppola or Altman or any of them. For me. Yeah.
But then he stopped.
Well, he stopped, and he has a country band. He goes around. So I sent a message to him, do you sing as good as Lefty Frizzell, knowing the answer, I guess he sings okay. I don't know. But, he's got to get back to his A game, because the guy, he wrote, directed, and acted, and he's on a high level in all those aspects.
Well, can I ask you a question? Because you were in the Sling Blade. You played his dad.
Yeah.
This may be I don't know if you want to answer this question or not, but you're an honest guy, right?
Sometimes. Yeah.
You go on Sling Blade.
Yeah.
You're watching that. Does that character he did in Sling Blade remind you of a character you may have done 30 years ago?
Well, yeah, that's what Horton Foote thought, maybe. You're talking about Tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's what Horton Foote thought maybe he was doing me, but I don't think so. I don't know if he ever even saw that. But not really, maybe a little bit. They could have been cousins, so to speak, yeah. But, when I did it with Billy Bob, there was no script. He just rolled the camera and we improvised.
Is that right?
Was it.
Wow.
So, he's great to work with, and he's got some more things he's going to do, and he's great.
You have an incredible taste in the choices you make, right? You must put thought into this.
Do what now?
Are you a literary person?
Well, somewhat. I read, what I want to read. I'm reading a lot of stuff on the Comanche Indians now, because a friend of mine may direct Empire of the Summer Moon, that terrific script on.
Oh yeah.
I guess I may be wrong, but Horton Foote once said people don't know what goes on beyond the South Jersey shore from New York necessarily, and I think that I don't know what I saw of The Searchers. It may be a great movie by John Ford, but what I saw, I got to watch the whole thing. I found some of it corny.
Yeah.
Melodramatic.
You found some of The Searchers corny?
Yes, absolutely.
Which parts?
Absolutely. Please come home. Please come back. And this book deals with the real thing of that woman that was captured by by the Comanches.
Sure.
And, but if you criticize, a friend of mine once said, if you criticize John Ford, like I got this great icon from Hollywood, it's like attacking motherhood.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's some of those old guys, like when I did True Grit, that was one of the worst directors I ever worked with in my life, Henry Hathaway.
Yeah,
one of the worst. Some of those old guys were like tyrants,
Yeah.
The opposite of Billy Bob.
Right.
Yeah. And I remember you saying one time that I found interesting, that you either like the new kind of acting or the old kind of acting, and you don't like the old kind of acting.
Well, a guy like Spencer Tracy, for the most part, was terrific. Of course, when he did Old Man in the Sea, the Communist daily newspaper in Havana, Cuba, blasted him, saying that here's a Anglo-Saxon trying to play a Cuban, but actually, when he was right, like Bad Dad, Black Rock, he was wonderful. But I think that the young actors today are better than ever.
You do.
Yeah. Absolutely. You go in each country. Look at the African Americans, the black actors we have now. They never could act before. Before it was like Uncle Tom time.
Yeah.
Wonderful black actors, Spanish actors, guys in Argentina I know, wonderful actors, Spain, England. it's open to all now. It's an in medium that's open to all. So I think, I mean, there's good and bad still, but I think overall the young actors, the bar's been raised. Maybe those who went before, we helped them find that aspect of it all. But no, I really think that it's open for all, and there's still bad work, obviously, and bad movies, but some of the young actors are wonderful.
Well, tell us about this young actor that you're working with in 7 Days.
He's as good as they get. He's terrific. Lucas Black. He's a scratch golfer.
Wow.
It's the only movie ever where the lead actor can hit the ball, really.
Yeah,
and he's
no,
a terrific
that's true.
guy. In between takes, he said, I will challenge the world champion turkey caller and beat him. He does these phenomenal animal calls because he grew up with nature fishing in the backwoods of Alabama.
Oh, wow.
He's a terrific kid, and when we did the movie, it was wonderful to go work in Texas with just great people down in that hill country, and Lou Waters and his family, and Ken Herford and the golf pro stand. All these wonderful people welcomed us, and it was great working with. That's one of the reasons I took it to work with Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to love it because I love golf. I don't think you love golf, but I love golf.
Well, I like it okay. It just takes too much time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It does.
And my good friend Jimmy Kahn's always out playing, but I'm afraid to ask him his handicap because I know he'll exaggerate.
Yeah, a lot of golfers lie. I read a thing once in Golf Digest. They went out because it's very, a lot of integrity of real golfers, And it was.
Yeah, well, I've heard of guys picking up the ball when you're not looking and throwing it another 100 feet.
Yeah.
Or on the scorecard, I guess it's easier to cheat consciously and unconsciously.
Sure. My second favorite golfer behind Tiger is in your movie, KJ Choi.
Oh, he's terrific. Yeah.
Was he a cool guy?
Yeah, I didn't get to know him, but they say he is. Yeah, he played a villain, but he's supposed to be really a terrific, really a nice guy. So it was interesting working with those guys. I love working in Texas.
Yeah. We should talk about Lonesome Dove because that's
my favorite part.
That's your favorite part ever?
Yeah, ever.
Real, not Tender Mercies?
No, ever. No. I said let the English play Hamlet and King Lear. I'll play Augustus McCrae.
What's interesting? I just thought of this, but you, in many, like we were talking about Tomorrow, Boo Radley, obviously, you played.
Horton Foote, the great writer, my friend. It was wonderful, man.
And so many of these parts that you played were very, is the word taciturn? People that don't speak is that a word?
Yes.
I don't know if that's a word. But you don't speak a lot, and in Tomorrow, you virtually don't speak at all.
Well, when I did, I saw a guy in southern Missouri wants to talk like a cow. So that's the way I kind of did it. We did it as a stage play first for 25 performances at Herbert Berghoff's studio in New York City, and then we did the movie afterwards.
Yeah,
so it was like a complete experience.
But it just occurred to me since you played these characters before Lonesome Dove that were very non-verbose, that maybe Call would be the guy that you would play.
Well, that's what McMurtry still says that I should have played Call. He wrote it. He's absolutely out to lunch on that.
You mean after the movie?
My ex-wife said to me, I read a novel I like better than Dostoevsky. Don't let them talk you into playing Call. You got to play this other guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I really.
So even after the miniseries, McMurtry thought you were miscast.
Yeah, well, that shows you where his head is.
Well, can we come back? Can you stay for another thing? Because I wanted to talk about faith with you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We'll talk about a little faith. Come on, let's do that.
That'd be cool, baby. All right, we'll be back with the greatest actor in the world by my standard and by his own, self-admitted. I wanted to talk about country music because I love country music, and I know Robert Duvall.
Oh, yeah, I
loves
like it.
country music.
I love it, yeah.
Yeah, and we actually have a common friend, Billy Joe Shaver, who I love.
Oh, Billy Joe, you know, my wife made a wonderful documentary on him.
I saw it. It was awesome.
Oh, he was so natural in front of the camera. When I put him in the Apostle way back the second day, he came out and said, hell, I got this deal licked, he said.
Now, listen, if there's a guy whose life story should be made into a movie, isn't it that guy?
I think so. Chris Christopherson once said, if life was a television show, Billy Joe Shavers come on every morning at 4 a.m.
I want to ask you this, Mr. Duvall, because I want to, since we were talking about country music and Billy Joe Shaver and stuff, when I talk to Billy Joe Shaver, this is what I love about country music, and I talk to him about writing a lot. Right. And he says that the hardest thing about it is taking very big ideas and putting them in very small writing, very pithy writing, not to be over. And it strikes me that your acting is like that, like a lot of the things that you do, like in Tender Mercies, which I loved, you don't speak a lot.
Right. Yeah. So now what's the question?
The question is that why you love country music?
No, I just like country music because I've always listened to my brothers sang opera and they were classically trained, and I always just loved country music. That's what I loved it.
Now, I suppose you'd say that's corny, too. You seem to say everything's corny.
Well, no. There's a legitimate sense of melodrama. I mean, you find that in Shakespeare. Melodrama can be very valid, things that seem melodramatic,
Right, because I'm always defending country music, because people say to me, like, oh, country music, it's just about, your dog dying, you're losing your truck, and you're...
Right, play it all backwards.
Yeah, but I go, that's life. That's what life is.
Yeah, but the point is, I took my wife to her first opera here in Washington, D.C., where they played they put the subtitles up there, what they were singing in Italian. It was far cornier and simplistic than any country song I ever heard.
So you're country musicians you like Lefty Frizzell, you said?
Yeah, well, I love Merle Haggard, but there's so many I like. I like Bobby Bear. I loved Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash. They died too young, these guys.
Yeah.
Well, Waylon Jennings, he was the greatest. It's interesting you mentioned...
Tammy Wynette was wonderful. She was a wonderful lady.
Yeah, you like lady singers?
Talking about. Yeah.
What about... It's interesting you bring up Merle Haggard, because I might be way off base, but when I saw Tender Mercies, I'm like, oh, he's doing Merle.
Well, that's what somebody thought. That's what Willie Nelson asked me if I was aping Merle Haggard. I said, well, I love him. I don't know if I was aping him or not, but maybe, and then George Jones said it was his life story, which it wasn't. So I don't know. But speaking of faith-based, real quick, Billy Joe Shavers, he lost his son, his mother, and his wife, who he married 3 times. He lost them. They died all in 1 year.
It was incredible. It was like Job.
Yeah, I said, Billy Joe, how'd you get through this? He pointed to his chest and said, Jesus Christ. Now, you can't say that in New York City. Up north, you don't do that. But down there in the south, all those guys, they're pretty inundated in the philosophy and beliefs of Jesus Christ. So that's what he said to me at one point, Billy Joe.
Yeah, they're not afraid to say it. And you're right. If you say it like I live in Los Angeles, if you say such a thing, people will look at you like you're saying you have Down syndrome or something.
Yeah, well, who's the writer from Alabama? He wrote a book all over but the shouting. I forget his name. He wrote for the New York, one of the New York papers. I forget the guy's name right now. He brought that up out in the South. You do that, but then once you get above the Mason-Dixon line, sometimes it's difficult to bring up Jesus or anybody like that because they look at you like you're a square or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they look at you like they reduced him to a silly character.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I'm sure that must have been your motive in writing and directing and starring in The Apostle.
Yeah, it took me many years to get it off the ground. I did. I had to use my own money and everything. Had I done it in Hollywood, they would have never done it correctly. They would have paid me big time, patronized the subject, patronized certain regions in America. When I did it, I put up my own money. I got my money back plus change, and that was it. But I got great satisfaction in doing it.
Yeah.
Because I got from both ends. I heard that the great preacher, from Billy Graham liked it. And then I got a wonderful letter from Marlon Brando saying he liked it. So I got it from the secular and the religious.
That's great. That's fantastic.
You got it from both
because
sides.
you, what was the name of the character?
Sonny. Sonny Dewey. I wanted to use my mother's maiden name, but that was the name of some preacher, so I didn't want to get a lawsuit. So his Sonny Dewey. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that movie really struck me because I grew up in rural Canada in a very, very small town, and the preachers would come and we would go and listen to them.
Yeah, there's some of those preachers up there in Canada. I actually went to some, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
They're a little different from the guys. I'm on the devil's hit list.
Well, we never had the Southern Baptists, but we would have the famous people from the United States come, and you could tell, I could at a young age, who were the real guy. Now, I don't know. I can't look into a man's heart, but some of them seemed fake. Like, for instance, I saw Jim Baker. He seemed like a complete fake.
Well, he could be. Yeah, a lot of those guys. Yeah.
But I tell you, I saw Jimmy Swaggart, and I thought that's a real guy. And even when he did his apology on TV, that seemed authentic to me.
Yeah, but he does like he's minimized his crocodile tears since then. He's very talented.
You think those were crocodile tears?
Yeah. Billy, his cousin, who's his cousin?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, he said we work different sides of the street. That's what.
Really? So you think?
But the country singer, what's his name? The guy from Nova Scotia.
Hank Snow.
Hank Snow. Well, his son was a Pentecostal preacher. He was one of the first guys I saw doing my research. Jimmy Snow, has a church down there. But what happened was Lefty Frizzell's wife went to his church, so he knew Lefty was around her, and he was a drunk and this and that. He says, God told me to tell you to leave Lefty. And Lefty called him up and said, well, God told me to tell you I'm going to come over there and whip your ass.
What were you raised?
Anyway.
What were you raised, Robert?
Oh, I was just a Protestant family.
Okay.
Mainly. Yeah. My dad was different. Yeah.
Kevin, you're Catholic.
Irish Catholic. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was raised Protestant. That's a little more. Catholic's a little more ritual.
A lot of rituals.
Protestant's a little more. I don't know if it's a little more visceral, direct. Maybe.
Yeah. Don't get my wife started. She comes out of a Catholic family in Argentina where the Jesuits ruled. But we won't get into that. We won't get into that.
Yeah. When did you get married?
Pardon?
How old were you when you married your latest wife?
Oh, I was old. When I met my father-in-law, I said, I don't know whether to call you a father or son, he said.
It's amazing.
And then I told Wilford Brimley. Wilford, he's a character, that guy. He was a Jack Mormon. He was a bodyguard for Howard Hughes. He sings jazz with a band. He's a very interesting guy, Wilford Brimley. When I came up, I said, Wilford, I got this young woman that's much younger than me. Everybody thinks she's too young, this and that. He said, let me tell you something, my friend. The worst thing in the world for an old man is an old woman.
Now you do have people. You have a much wider interest than most actors, right? Most actors, I think, hang out with other actors or whatever, or go to parties or whatever.
That's okay. I like a good Hollywood party when I'm out there. We live in Virginia, actually.
Yeah.
My wife's from Argentina, but she said Virginia for her is the last station before heaven.
Ah, that's nice.
She loves it here, and I love Texas, but we like living in Virginia at the moment.
Yeah.
And how do you keep up with a young lady like that?
Oh well, I don't know. She keeps me going. She looks after me well.
Here's what I was telling Kevin during the break. I was saying, you're 80 years old, right, sir?
Yeah, I'm 80 years old, right.
Now I see you when you're interviewed. You don't look 80 at all. You're powerful and you talk, but then you can do parts like I saw. I remember in Convicts. That's where I thought you looked the oldest.
Yeah.
You looked like a real 80-year-old guy.
Well, that was another Horton Foote script, and the director of Tender Mercies, who did not direct that, liked that movie so much he gave it as Christmas presents to his friends. That was a nice film that a lot of people didn't see.
Oh, that was
but
a beautiful movie.
I had a wonderful career of 4 or 5 movies with Horton Foote, and then I had also with Coppola. And had I never done anything but those two guys' works, it would have been a wonderful mini career for me. There were two wonderful, talented people that gave me great parts and everything. But it was great working with Horton. You know how many people you have a friend for 50 years, for God's sake.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
And then the movie of Get Low that I did, it was so. I love that movie. My wife loved it so much. I wanted Horton to see that before he died because it reminded me of his work. But then he died before it came out.
Oh.
And when I was doing the final speech for the audience, my wife was off camera and she got a telephone message that Horton had just died.
Oh.
When I was doing that speech about death.
Yeah.
Wow.
So ironic. It was like full circle from To Kill a Mockingbird. You know.
Yeah.
And that's also interesting that you were doing the speech in Get Low, and in Tomorrow, you in the last scene were in a coffin.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, also in the coffin well, you mean in the Convicts? I was in a coffin.
In Convicts, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So who did Convicts?
Who directed that? Pete Masters, and that was Horton's first cousin. Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah. That was an amazing movie, and that was a character that was, I guess he had dementia.
Yeah. I played him like one of my uncles moved to Texas from Virginia, and I sat on a grave. Whose grave am I sitting on here? and I made that up. Horton would sit under the cameras. He'd write. I say, Horton, could I try change a little? Go ahead, Bobby. That's okay. Then he'd watch it. They say cut. He'd go back to writing something else. But he didn't mind if he changed a little something. Not so much the text, but he was great to work with, Horton. He was really an actor's friend and ally. Some of these directors you work with are an actor's enemy.
Yeah.
Well, Tender Mercies was the best movie ever, but I remember a line in Tomorrow that was so cool. I just remember it now. I'm going to screw it up, but it was when they come and take the boy from you.
Yes.
And you say, do you remember the line?
Once you refresh my memory, it's been a long time.
You say, I expected it. I reckon that's why it took me by surprise.
Yeah, I think that was scripted, though. Yeah, with Horton. Wonderful line.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see that movie for a year. I was so ticked off at the producers and everybody. They cut a scene where I ride on my mule 30 miles to see that son when he's grown up. I say his name, he doesn't recognize me. I take off my hat to see if he'll recognize me. Then he doesn't. And I get in my mule and ride and go back home 30 miles. Wow. And I had a great moment. One of those moments I got so emotional I couldn't even speak. Yeah. And they cut the scene.
Oh, that is interesting because in that movie it is a little choppy at both ends.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I won't go into the reasons why that could be, but but overall it was a good experience, and it's always great. It was great working with Horton.
Do you have other scenes that have been cut that you wish were not?
Yeah, probably. I can't think of any right now. Let's hope Billy Bob doesn't cut any of mine from this.
Well, I'm glad to hear that Billy Bob is directing.
Was the most unique script I've probably ever read. The one, Jane Mansfield's Car is the name of it. Billy Bob.
Wow.
Script. Yeah. And the people, he sent the script to the same people that financially backed 7 Days in Utopia. He never heard from them because a lot of the preachers will not come see this movie. Of course, if they come, they might like it underneath. See, but, it is so secular but so accurate.
Yeah,
you can't. Like a guy called in, a faith-based station called in when we were doing publicity, and he brought up the fact that in the Old Testament there's a lot of R rating.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so it's the secular and as long as it's done accurately and beautifully, it can be a little shocking to some people. But as long as it's done well, as Billy Bob has done, I think in this movie, then it becomes a valid statement of filmmaking.
Right.
When you do a movie, since Gus McCrae was such an incredibly fully realized character and so great. Then when you do Broken Trail or Open Range or anything like that, do you have to try not to go into that, or is it you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean go into it?
Well, is it a tough thing to try to match that because they're similar characters?
Well, it's similar to a point. Yeah, they are. I actually feel that if you looked at Broken Trail in its entirety, I think it was better made than Lonesome Dove.
Really?
I mean, Lonesome Dove's my bad, but it's right up there, and and somebody said, you know, this and that. It's not a faith-based movie, but it's a wonderful movie in that these guys saved 5 Chinese girls from servitude and prostitution. You know, the original script, and it was really nice to make. But you know, like with Lonesome Dove, you get 7 hours to develop a character. And a lot of actors won't do TV because you do TV in your career and you try to get out of it to get into features. But then once you get a certain leverage, you'll go back to do something like Lonesome Dove or Stalin, in television. And television can be great. It's still action and cut. I mean, you're playing characters. So, but you do have sometimes more time to develop a character.
And you know, westerns are my favorite movies. They always go like westerns are dead, and then a western.
No, they're not dead. People say that, but people always look for them, and they're always doing them. There's a flux of a bunch coming back for TV now and everything.
There was a great western a couple years ago about with a big long title. Remember that movie, Kevin? The Coward.
The Coward.
Jesse James and the Coward.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was interesting.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I thought it was well done.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing, and they had no music.
The guy did good playing Bob Ford, but Lucas Black would have been terrific too. Boy, he would have been great playing that part.
Yeah.
No, I like some of what Brad Pitt does. Did you ever see him do the movie Snatch?
Oh yeah.
He was fantastic. He was fantastic playing that gypsy. Because I know a little, but I directed a movie once called Angelo, My Love, where I only used one professional actor, and all the rest of the actors were American gypsies, and they were terrific natural actors. But, you know, Brad Pitt, I think, went up to Northern Ireland and picked up that lingo. It was terrific.
Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Duval, for all your time. You're awesome.
Thank you, Mr.
Duval. And say hello to Dennis Miller and tell him next time I expect to talk to him.
What the?
Dennis Miller Show.
Good evening. Welcome to NORM MACDONALD Live, our third podcast. And I could not be more excited about this podcast until about 10 minutes ago, because our guest was going to be the great Robert Blake.
Yeah.
And I love Robert Blake, and I always have since I was a little kid, because I watched Beretta, which was my favorite show. And that's probably before your time, Adam Egget.
Yes, definitely.
My trusty sidekick, Adam Egget.
I'm wearing arm.
And you didn't know Robert Blake, probably.
No.
But in the 70s, they had these shows that were detective shows.
Right.
And but most of them were kind of corny. Like they had Frank Cannon, who was played by William Conrad.
Uh-huh.
And as a matter of fact, now that I think of it, most of the detectives back then had something wrong with them.
What was wrong with Cannon?
Huge, obese man. He was a fat man, and he'd chase down the criminals, and then he would karate chop them on the neck. That's how he ended up getting them. He knew how to karate. And at the end, it'd be him eating like a big dish of pasta with some lady. Anyways, and Longstreet was blind.
Jesus.
He was a detective, was blind, and he relied on his dog a lot. And a lot of times he'd go, there's a clue underneath this girl's, skirt. The dog knew where Longstreet wanted to go.
And they had luck solving the cases?
But I'm saying they were very corny kind of sick. Right. But then Beretta, it was like Martin Scorsese had made a detective.
Good.
He was a tortured guy. You know how now all the superheroes are conflicted?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. But I like this guy. He was conflicted, And anyways, and it had the greatest theme song. So I said, let's get Robert Blake.
Yeah, it would have been a great guess. He's engaging.
How exciting that going to be? And we got him on. I got him on the phone only for 5 seconds.
What happened?
Daniel Kellison apparently was on the phone with him for an hour.
How did that go?
I don't think it went well.
Probably not.
But I got his book. One of the things was, you've got to read my book.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, he's not coming.
Yeah.
And I read his entire book.
Oh,
and it was great. It was one of the best books, celebrity memoirs I've ever read.
Good, then you should plug it anyway. You liked
it.
it.
It's called Tales of a Rascal.
Because he was on the Little Rascals.
Of course.
Right.
But I think there's it's drenched in irony as well.
Yeah, sure.
Tales of a Rascal, Robert Blake. What I Did for Love. So it covers everything. He pulls no punches.
One of my favorite roles of all time was him in David Lynch's Lost Highway. Just riveting.
I never saw that.
Amazing.
But I like David Lynch likes me.
That's bizarre, even for Lynch. That's amazing, though. That's really cool.
What?
We should get him on the show.
David Lynch?
Yeah, that'd be great. We should put him on the old list.
Oh, the list. We have a list. We have a list of guests we're trying to get. And we don't have a list, do we?
Well, I always carry it around with me. You never know when you're going to need the list.
Is that the list?
This is the list. I always carry it around with me.
This is the list. This is guests we're trying to get for the show.
Yeah. It's a long list.
It's really long. And they run the gamut from Al Franken. I mean, he's what is he, a senator?
Yeah, he's a senator. He's somewhat attainable, you know?
Alison Brie.
Don't know her.
Oh, come on. Something you're never supposed to say on a TV show? That you've never heard of someone on the list? What's wrong with you? Andy Dick, I think he'd be good.
Yeah, he'd be great.
Arsenio Hall, and then after that it says, if needed.
Yeah, I never understood. There's about 5 people with parentheses that says if needed, but they're just at random. Makes no sense.
Yeah. Anyways.
Who else on the list, Norm?
Bill Murray. We can take him off the list. No, there's a lot of people.
Any other?
Anne Murray?
Oh, Anne Murray. Who's in? I mean, I know.
You know who put Anne Murray on the list, Daniel? Do you even know Anne Murray?
I mean, I've heard the name. I know she was a singer or something. Tell me about Anne Murray.
She's just an old lady. She's like 75. I think she lives in Prince Edward Island or something.
Is that close by or?
No, it's about as far as could be. I don't think there's any 2 points of the North American continent farther than Los Angeles and
well, I mean,
Spring Hill.
Well, I mean, she's probably available. What do you think she's up to?
Oh, she's available. What's she up to?
Yeah, what do you think she's doing?
Walking down the street going, I'm Anne Murray.
So, not a good chance of getting her to fly down here.
No, but anyways, God, this is a huge list. Oh, you know what else there's news in our little life?
Yeah.
That we're going to do that Masters
right.
Explain to the folks what it is, because I did it one time before.
Well, basically, it's people.
Explain to the folks on the
at
camera.
home. What you guys can do is tune into the Masters on television there, and you can turn down the volume and listen to Norm and some friends partially commentate the golf and also talk about it. So tune in to the Masters. I believe that's this weekend.
Robert Blake, when he met Steve McQueen, is one of the coolest stories I've ever read. When I read this book, because I'm trying to write a book, they want me to write a book. Anyways, you can tell this guy wrote this. And you can also tell he should have been a writer. And he should have been a poet. No. But anyway, he's not here. He's not here. But you know who is here?
No, who's here?
Fred Stoller. See, what's good about this is he's got stories about Steve McQueen. He's got stories about Mickey Rooney, Ava Gardner.
Yeah, one of my favorites of all time, Robert Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum, he's got stories.
What an actor.
Fred Stoller also has stories, but nearly half of them are about Dom Irrera.
Well, it says right on the front here, Fred Stoller is always funny. Chris Rock. He's got to be good. Yeah.
Fred Stoller is always funny. Well, we'll put that to the test tonight. Now, thank God for Fred Stoller.
No, seriously. Oh, he's a hilarious guy.
He's a hilarious guy, and he's got a fascinating story. But also, Fred Stoller was telling me he wants to be on podcasts, like as a guest.
Yes.
And he actively tries to get on podcasts.
Absolutely, yes, he does.
And is rejected. Except by us.
Yeah, we're used to be the guys getting rejected.
Yeah. But anyways, he's gonna be great. Oh, also, this is I think exciting. You ever hear? There's a big late night shakeup.
Yeah.
What do you know of that? What do you know?
Well, I know that Leno.
How would you encapsulate that? Without talking too much, and make it for someone who doesn't know anything about this late night shakeup.
Well, I believe what's happening. You mean these specifics? I believe
Yeah.
that Fallon is taking over Leno's
Jimmy
spot.
Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon is taking over Leno's spot, and then Leno is moving over to Fox. I believe. No, he's not moving to Fox.
That's speculative.
Okay, so he may or may not be moving to Fox. He's moving somewhere. And
He's retiring.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
I thought you could encapsulate it for the folks at home.
No, you'd be mistaken.
Well, try again, and I'll just correct.
Okay, so I believe Jimmy Fallon is moving to Jay Leno's spot.
Yes, Jimmy Fallon will be the host of The Tonight Show.
Got it. And is anything happening with
Jay
David
Leno
Letterman?
is retiring,
Jay Leno's retiring.
which will leave a spot at 12:30 on NBC.
Okay.
Jimmy Kimmel has the 11:30 spot on ABC. I don't know what follows him. Oh, Nightline, perhaps. Maybe they've flip-flopped.
Right.
Conan
Poor
O'Brien
Conan.
is over on the Dumont Network or some fucking thing. And who else is there? Chelsea Handler beats them all, and no one seems to care. And is there anybody else?
No.
But anyways, the point is, who? Oh, and David Letterman.
And Ferguson.
And Craig Ferguson.
Right.
And so David Letterman is 65. Where you used to have to retire, I think. You know, Walter Cronkite had to retire at 65. Isn't that amazing?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
You didn't know that?
I don't know much.
Yeah, at 65, he had to retire because at that time because that was years ago, you know.
Leno's younger than Letterman, right?
He is 62,
Mm-hmm.
and Letterman is 65.
Wow.
But the problem is, if Letterman retires, CBS doesn't know what to do because they have to put a Scotchman in there, a Scottish guy.
Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson.
Right.
And they're afraid that people, at 11:30, older people, might not want to listen to a Scottish brogue. And also his sidekick is a skeleton.
It is?
You've never seen the show?
I've never seen the show.
Well, it's fascinating because he just talks. Like he I don't know if he uses writers, but he's a fantastic you've never seen anything like Craig Ferguson. I love him.
It's just a Scotsman talking to a skeleton.
Well, the skeleton is his sidekick is a corpse, which apparently Les Moonves
CBS
has some problems with. He's saying, why not spend the extra money and get a corporeal person? You know what I mean? Sure, you save money, grave robbing every night, because apparently Craig Ferguson has to change because the stench becomes unbearable in the studio after a few days.
I would imagine.
Cut to Craig Ferguson out at the local cemetery with a shovel.
You think they'd spring and get
Old-fashioned
some-
grave robbing. But anyways, my point is this. I don't know what to watch anymore.
Well,
with all the shuffling. So I look at Entertainment Weekly because every week this publication, this periodical,
They're an authority on the subject.
of course,
They'll
it's Entertainment Weekly.
Tell you what to watch.
So they'll tell you what to watch. So anyways, I'm perusing it.
Okay.
So this is what I found out about the word peruse. You think it means scan,
what I
but it
thought.
actually means reading very carefully.
Oh.
So the next time you're talking to one of your intelligent Hollywood friends, and they say peruse, you go, what the fuck are you talking about? Peruse means to study carefully.
So you studied this carefully. What did
Yes,
you,
and what they have is they have the must list, the top 10 things we love this week, things you must see.
Okay.
And anyways, look at this, number 6. Oh, here it is. It's our show. It's
Holy
our program.
shit.
Isn't that bizarre?
Fuck.
That shouldn't be in their fucking thing.
My name should not be in any publication.
No, that definitely. Did you think that? Like 3 weeks ago when we started,
No.
you were just a filthy bum.
Yeah.
And now these retards put your name in a fucking magazine. It says the Saturday Night Live alum. I don't know what that what does that mean?
It means he used to be on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Is using his deadpan charm and irreverence to full effect on his riotous new video podcast where he and co-host Adam Egget, that's you,
Shocking.
will welcome guests like Russell Brand, Bob, maybe.
We'll have to see.
I think, my theory is this went to press before they found out about Fred Stoller.
I think it's a good possibility.
Russell Brand, he is coming. The great Russell Brand, who I asked for from the first day.
Love Russell.
Because I find him amazing.
Yeah.
And Bob Saget, old friend, and the great Seth Rogen. So look at that, we're number 6.
That's amazing. That's fantastic.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. What does this have to do with late night?
Well, we have a show. We're talking to each other,
Right.
and I was looking. I thought, well, maybe you must see. First of all, I don't want you must see it. Really,
Right.
Really, Entertainment Weekly.
You don't want anybody telling
I
you
don't
what to
want
do?
anybody fucking tell me what I must see. You know what I mean?
I know
I
exactly.
must see that video I was going to show you where the girl shoves her foot up that dude's asshole.
I can't get that vision out of my mind. I remember it. Yeah.
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 But anyways, first you're happy. This is the nature of being a human being, right?
Right.
You're like, we're number 6 in the must-see list. But my point was, since none of the other late-night shakeups, I'm starting to think that they want us to move over to one of those spots.
To the late night spots?
Yes.
I don't think that's
Think about it. Think of what would it cost them? 0?
Yeah. Well, there's zero money put into
We
this,
make
so-
0.
Yeah.
So why would they pay $6-7 million for Horatio Sands? Or, I don't know is he up for it?
I have no idea.
Or I read today RuPaul. Honest to God.
Really?
Well, because on the computer, when something happens, they have to write a story. So they're like, 15 people who should have their own talk show. And
Sounds like our fucking list. They're just
RuPaul
putting
was
names
on
down.
one of them, and Chavez, the guy who fucking just died, I think he was on it. Like, it was very politically correct. It was trying to get everybody.
Yeah, why not us? We're number 6.
We're
on
number
the fucking
6.
Must list.
Yeah. But then you go, who's number 5? That's human nature, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You start getting mad. Like, why are we 6? Why aren't we number 1? Like, you know what number 1 is?
Uh-huh.
Game of Thorns.
It's Thrones.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Sure. Well, what the fuck is that? Whoever watched that?
I've
Now,
seen
you're
it.
telling me that's better than Norm MacDonald Live?
I mean, I don't want to say it's better than. I mean, a lot of people watch it. It's a pretty popular show.
What's it about? It's
It's
they
about
have pictures of
like,
ladies.
Yeah, ladies and knights and kings and midgets and dragons. And
Sounds like
stuff.
my honeymoon.
Who's in our rearview mirror? Who do we have?
What do you mean?
Like, who's behind us on the list?
Oh, behind us on the list?
What do we got? Kinky Boots.
Kinky Boots
number
is
8.
number 8.
Yeah.
Sounds like my honeymoon.
Well, look, 6 isn't a bad place to be. I think I'm just
Except for
happy
the
to-
dragon. There was no dragon.
No, there's a dragon on Game of
No,
Thrones.
in my honeymoon.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
How could there be a dragon?
That's a good point.
Singeing my fucking balls with their fire. Did you ever think there actually was a dragon when you were a kid?
Absolutely.
Me
I
too.
thought a lot of things when I was a kid. I
What
still
else?
do. Santa
What was that
Claus
story you
and-
told me when you were a kid? Just before the show?
Are you talking about the airplane story?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I was a kid. I was 13 years old. You're talking about that story?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you must know, I mean, it's a true story. I was
Well,
on
tell the folks at home.
Oh, God, Norm. I was telling you that when I was 13 years old, and we have a news story that we were going to cover, and I wasn't sure if we should, and it's about how they're making airplanes, they're putting more seats on airplanes, and the way they're cutting space is in the bathrooms. And I was concerned, like, where, I thought about where am I going to go to jack off? Because I get nervous on flights and stuff. And a lot of people do it. I don't know. But when I was 13, I went in there and I did that. And some lady walked in on me, and she was like 2 seats over, and you just had to stare, just staring at me in disgust for like 5 hours straight. It was a long flight. You sure you want me to talk about? I mean, you really want me to?
It was a different story. But anyway, forget about that. But what is it? They're making this thing smaller? They're too fucking small for me when I wasn't a big fucking fat guy.
I feel like you're gaining weight. Like
Yeah,
you're on
of
this
course
diet.
I'm gaining
What did
weight.
we eat right before we did the show?
We ate chicken.
Yeah. What kind of chicken?
What was it called? Honey kettle chicken.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
Yeah, a big plate of it.
Yeah. And I asked the girl,
Huge mistake.
I said, why so much for the extra gravy?
Give me like a trough of gravy. I've never seen that much
No,
gravy.
that was a lot of gravy.
You just
I drank
devoured
the
it.
gravy.
You really did.
What I do is I eat the chicken and I devour. I went to my doctor because I'm getting so many.
Good, you should.
I'm getting so many. That's what's good about this show is I'm getting all this feedback about how huge and fat I am. So I go to the doctor and I tell the doctor. He's like, "Why are you so fat?" And so I said, "That'd be funny. Most guys try to lose weight,
right?
But I try to become a huge fat guy." So, anyways, he said that's not funny. He says that's alarming.
I think it's funny.
I think it's funny
Yeah,
too.
it's pretty funny.
But he said that it's quite alarming and that I'm in a lot of trouble. And I said, well, I think it's funny, and I'm the comedian. So I said, let's agree to disagree. And then you know what he said? What? And I say that a lot.
Yeah, you do. You say that constantly.
Yeah, that's my out.
That's your in
especially
and your
when
out.
I'm
That's
wrong.
everything.
Especially when I'm wrong.
Right.
I'll argue and argue, and I go, I guess we have to agree to disagree. Anyways, this fucker, he goes, no. I go, what? I thought you had to agree to disagree.
Well, the customer's always right.
He goes, I will not agree to this is a true story. He goes, I will not agree to disagree. I will disagree.
What'd you say?
I said, what's the distinction? I don't understand. Isn't agreeing to disagree the same, essentially, as disagreeing? No, says he. It's not. He says, if I agree to disagree, he goes, it gives more credence to your side of the argument. He goes, it sounds like we have two separate arguments, both of which have merit, and then I'm saying that some of your points are valid, and you're saying some of my points are valid.
But he's saying that zero.
And he's saying no.
Yeah.
He's saying that would be as unconscionable for him as to agree with a Holocaust revisionist. And I said, are you going to bring up the fucking Holocaust every time you give me a physical? This guy, he's got a tattoo. He's 96. I know his backstory.
I don't even afford to go to the doctor right now.
You can't afford to go to the
I
doctor?
can't afford to go.
Yeah.
Certainly this isn't going to fucking... We're number 6 on the must list. I'm fucking dying.
Yeah, well, you're a young man. What, do you got any symptoms? I know a lot of stuff.
Bleeding from my anus. Internally, I think. I mean, no, that's not a joke. That's true.
Well, I know it's not a joke.
Yeah. I don't know. I've
been around jokes my whole life.
Right. Well, I mean, I wasn't trying to be
sure.
funny. That's
I see
true.
what you mean.
Yeah.
So you're...
I'm bleeding internally, I think.
So, what's the color of the blood that's coming out of
Well,
your
the good
anus?
thing is it's not dark. It's not
that's
dark.
good.
It's brighter.
If it's bright red, it's coming from the rectal area.
Oh, okay.
It's not as dangerous.
Well, that's good. I haven't had a physical since I was 16. I'm terrified.
And you're 31?
34. It's been a while.
Yeah.
About 18 years. So hopefully, number 6 on the must list, maybe the money will start coming. I'll be able to see that doctor. You know what I mean?
You're really bleeding from your anus?
Yeah, I really am.
Because you gave up that entire lifestyle that would make me think you were still bleeding from the anus, but you told me you'd given that all up.
You're talking about alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how you love to go to those bars and get real drunk.
Yeah.
And then the next day you'd wake up and you'd be bleeding from the anus.
Well, no, I think it was alcohol related. I think what you're
I'm saying.
Okay, good.
No, I'm not implying anything.
Yeah.
You're inferring something, but I'm not implying anything. I'm saying straight out, you would black out.
Oh, yeah.
You'd drink your Wild Turkey 101.
Glenlivet.
You like your Glenlivet?
Yeah.
You like your Jack Daniels,
Sure.
your Jim Beam?
Absolutely.
Never a lady's name.
No. I never really thought about that.
Yeah. Do they have booze that have ladies' names?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure they do.
Because to me, it's Shirley Temple. I don't think that has booze in it.
Well, they have a dirty Shirley.
A dirty Shirley
That's
Temple.
a Shirley Temple with vodka in it. I miss booze.
There was this guy, Chance Langton. Do you know him? He's a comic.
No.
But he said when he was a young boy, he loved Shirley Temple. He was 5 and she was 5. The next year, he saw her in a mall. He was 6, she was 50.
I blacked out. I didn't even hear the whole fucking thing.
I know you blacked out because I can feel the droplets of blood.
As soon as we started talking about Glenlivet, I just kind of went to another place. It's been 10 months, and I'm just like...
10 months?
Yeah.
That you've been off?
Yeah.
You've been off the sauce.
Off the sauce.
The booze.
Off the booze.
I wonder how long you'll last.
Well, fuck, Norm. I mean, hopefully a while.
Not many do.
I mean, I quit, you know? The
Whoop-de-doo! The thing is, Robert Blake was supposed to be on the show, and I was all excited, and then we fucking had to get Fred Stoller.
Yeah.
God damn, it was a depressing day. Because
Yeah.
Robert Blake was supposed to come in, and then Daniel Kellison talks to him on the phone for an hour, and he fucking won't show up.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
One time I was hosting, and there was 3 guys.
I've never hosted. How many times have you hosted?
Just one time. It was a mistake.
Did it not go well?
It was all right.
Did you do update?
No.
You didn't even do update?
It was right after I got fired from Update. I thought it'd be funnier back then. But anyways, so there were three guys doing music, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know music. I just know old music. Like again, Lauren would go, "Who do you like?" And I go, "You like this guy."
Bobby Goldsboro.
Yeah, Bobby Goldsboro. Eddie Cantor, is he around? And Lauren go, "You've got to go," you know. So
who'd they have on? Very hip.
So they
young kids.
had hip guys that everyone else knew except me. It was Snoop Dogg. He just changed his name, and he was angry because I kept getting it wrong. It used to be Snoop Doggy Dogg. It was Snoop Dogg and Eminem and Dr. Dre.
That's a pretty heavy lineup.
Yeah, but to me it was 2 black guys and a white guy. So I go to introduce them.
You're beautiful.
And they were all
just trying to get this into the barn. Don't go black white on.
They were all standing They were all standing like in
I'm out there with Francis Farmer. They're about to go up and take me with you.
They were standing in rap positions, as you know, like against. And I'm about to introduce them, so they're standing in that rap position where it looks like they'll either start singing rap or pull a gun and kill you. So then I go, as a joke, I look at them, because I remember this is kind of a Letterman-y thing to do, but I go, "Fellas, are you ready? Are you ready?" Which forces them to go shake their heads slightly. Even though they're in this crazy dangerous
I'll post up.
I'm posed up. So I thought that was funny. But then I learned later they were geniuses, and I should have befriended them. I was just talking to Dre backstage. I don't know if he's a real doctor, but he did prescribe me some stuff. So I don't know. There you go.
Some days we get closer. Things that we never really needed. Promises that we never thought of keeping safe. I guess it's never over if we know how to break away.
Okay, folks, before we continue, I have an announcement from the management. Would the owner of a Glock 9 with the inscription, "Too Puffy with Love," please pick up your gun? It's at the hospitality suite.
There was an interesting list of the 50 worst TV decisions in history, according to Rolling Stone. And it's a long list of different things, like actors not taking roles, like Fox passing up The Sopranos. They could have had The Sopranos, and they said, it's never going to take off. And then, of course, HBO did it. It's the biggest show in TV history. But there's one specifically that stands out. And it's when Norm MacDonald was fired from Saturday Night Live. Rest in peace, Norm. He was the greatest. He was there he used to do the anchor desk, and he was telling O.J. Simpson jokes right when it happened. So this audio is from right when the O.J. trial, the O.J. stuff happened with the Bronco, all that thing, just after the trial. Now, the NBC executive Don Ohlmeyer was O.J.'s buddy, and he was the biggest boss at NBC. So Norm MacDonald got fired for Saturday Night Live.
I don't want in any way
you ever to hold back on this.
But then I got fired. People have said it was the Oh My or OJ thing, but I don't think it was. I think that it wasn't crowd pleasing enough.
That is so ridiculous. You work on a show that's about pop culture and current events
and humor,
and you're going to be mad about that? How? It was obviously a pretty big story.
Yeah.
What do you want him to avoid it? He didn't like dive in the trenches for that one.
Yeah. Well, when you hear Norm's jokes, I mean,
I
listen,
can't wait.
Oh, I remembered the first one. There's 3 jokes he doubled down in about OJ right when it happened, and that I'm guessing it's the second and third joke that really made the guy go nuts because it's his buddy.
Really sunk the knife in.
Put him in. I love Norm MacDonald so much, and if you forgot, of course, never heard it before. I think a lot of people probably never heard this before. This was right after the OJ trial. Norm MacDonald.
In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. It was revealed this week that defense lawyer Johnny Cochran once abused his first wife. In his defense, Cochran said, "Hey, at least I didn't kill her like some people I know." Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat."
How could you be mad at him for that?
Oh, God.
My favorite.
Oh,
you know what my
geez.
favorite Norm MacDonald moment is, though?
Oh.
When he was on The View, and he just kept going off about how the Clintons have, like, murdered people, and they were mad at him, and he goes, but isn't that just a fact? He was actually confused the whole time. He goes, well, isn't that just public information? Like, that's enough.
He just doubled down. He would not let it go.
But did he we should come back with that on
Yeah, I'll find that for you.
It's my favorite.
And then they just cut right now. And do that. Hey, amazing. And it's Pride and Kenzie. So I just played, when you were talking about the 50 worst TV decisions in history that Rolling Stone had an article about, talked about, the Fox passing up The Sopranos and Norm MacDonald getting fired from Saturday Night Live for telling OJ jokes. And we played those jokes, which were hilarious. Norm MacDonald.
Phenomenal.
What a loss. And again, now, Kenzie brought up the time when Norm MacDonald was on The View.
This is my favorite.
And he talked about the Clintons murdering people. And The View, of all places, they don't want that at all. Whatever cast of The View it was at that time.
It made me so happy. They were so
uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
Yes. And Norm MacDonald, when he made people uncomfortable, he just doubled down and kept going. And here's that audio. Again, more old audio from the late Norm MacDonald. I hate to say that because he was so good. And here's that audio from The View with Norm MacDonald.
See, I think we should get the homicide out of the White House and get like a fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think we should just go on to the next question.
Oh.
Who are the murderers? Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yeah, you're not supposed to put out no accusations without.
That's a little too far.
That's the way it does work.
Let's just go on to the next question.
Yeah.
This is not my week. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's not mine either, and I'm being very nice, okay? Be a good boy. Now, Norm.
Did you never hear that?
No. Listen, we don't need to talk about this.
So they moved on. They're ready to move on. It's Barbara Walters, by the way. And the woman that's still on The View, I can't remember her
That
name.
was so rude. Like, be a good boy. I would want to punch her in the face. It was the most demeaning thing to ever say to somebody. Anyways, go ahead.
And once he said that, of course, Norm doesn't care about The View.
So
Like, he just doubles down.
Listen, we don't need to talk
get
about
into this, and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on to it. Get with it.
There you go.
This is a live show.
Not for nothing, Norm, but you have been properly chastised by Barbara. So I'm now going to ask the next question.
I thought it was a matter of record.
Shut up.
Let me do this, okay?
They're covering his mouth
I'll tell you
now.
what's a matter of record. You will not be invited back if you don't shut up. All right, now.
Lucky cares.
Let's talk football.
All right, manslaughter.
Let's talk football.
Norm.
He would not stop.
I thought that was known. He goes, did you not hear about that? To the members of The View, I would cry. Oh my God, it was my favorite.
So good.
It's so good.
Case, can you post that, by the way, Case? Can you put that up on
Well,
Facebook?
Case already has it up, of course.
Case has a lot to do back there, the producer, but
Yeah, no, I'm not doing anything else right now. I can
tell.
post a news clip from 25 years ago.
You do the one. So we did the OJ jokes.
We want to get people talking.
We did the OJ jokes. I thought we just go like, okay, then manslaughter. Hey, they didn't kill anybody. Manslaughter, then, right? It wasn't murder.
Could you make a compilation of all of Norm's best moments? And just put them up really fast.
I mean, there might be a tribute when he sadly passed that you may already have done, so maybe it can save you some work. I don't know.
No, I didn't. When Norm died, I made a tribute, and then you didn't put it on the air.